Travis Kelce in the news for yet more attention. He is a star football player, a celebrity in his own right, well-known podcaster, and boyfriend of Taylor Swift, perhaps the most famous person on the planet. Now he's got another gig being a talk show host. Are you smarter than a celebrity? Is Travis Kelce a world-class communicator at this point? There was a time when simply being famous, people would often give you an opportunity to be a talk show host. Some of you old enough to remember may recall the time when Chevy Chase was given his own late night talk show. It was a complete bomb. He had never actually done an interview show before. He had been a guest on shows. He'd been a movie star. Well, the times are very different. And the producers who selected Travis Kelce, I think, did some due diligence now, because Travis Kelce has a real track record, not just on the field as a football player, where he obviously has excelled, but he's also really established a significant body of work as someone who can communicate in front of a camera, in front of a microphone. He's now done extensive work in Hollywood, other shows, really high profile situations like hosting Saturday Night Live. He's been featured in numerous television commercials, and he has a wildly successful podcast with his brother. So he's no stranger to speaking in front of a camera, speaking in front of a microphone, and captivating audiences. That's clearly what the producers had in mind when they selected him as the host of So You Think You're Smarter Than a Celebrity. What's your prediction on how he does in this new role? Hi, I'm TJ Walker. Thanks for joining me. This is the TJ Walker Success Channel. We're all about helping you become more successful as a communicator, building your communication skills, and also boosting your confidence as a communicator. Special hello to our friends joining us on TikTok. Forgive me for seeming like I'm looking at a teleprompter script over here. I'm looking at our main camera that is feeding this show out to 8 or so other social media platforms. We just haven't figured out yet a way of connecting our TikTok community and show with all the others using StreamYard. If you do want to come on and say hello, we would love to have you. Our good friend Cesar is with us, and also Sidant is with us too, if you want to connect. Cesar, tell us what you're up to. We'd love to hear what's new in your world.
Hi, how are you? Good morning.
Fantastic.
You're looking greater every day.
Well, thanks.
Since my arm is recovering like
good.
You believe.
Glad to see you back.
I'm gaining the strength, which is very good. And all this time that I've been idle, I've been learning. I've been learning about improving my communication skills.
That's the best way to use idle time.
And also AI. I'm digging into AI, and it's amazing what you can do with AI. I can, for example, I can make the images for the background on my videos, and that is awesome. I am mesmerized by it. And also, I created an avatar of myself that I'm going to show you soon. I'm going to send you a link so you can see it, and you can tell me what it's about.
Okay.
And the salsa business keeps going. I get orders, I ship out. So here I am talking to you again.
Great. And just tell everyone again the name of your company for your salsa. Type in the private chat, and then I will share with everyone the link if they want to test your salsa or learn more about it. Look at the ingredient list. Type that in. We're always happy to help promote our friends, our community members, our students here. So let's get, again, tell everyone the name of your salsa company.
I'm going to tell you the name right now. It's easy to get to. salsabrava.store. And I will go ahead and send it on the chat in a little bit as soon as I'm off camera.
Great. salsabrava.store.
That's right.
Cesar, you're a cutting edge person, and not surprising at all that you're thinking about artificial intelligence. It is the thing that, frankly, keeps me awake at night, keeps me up, worrying that, wow, maybe I've been too early on certain technologies. I got into online training courses in 1998, way too early. Lost a lot of time and money, but at least when things did hit, I was there.
Yes.
I haven't gotten in too early on the artificial intelligence game. I'm trying to figure out, should I really hop in now? I mean, here's my ultimate goal, is to create tjwalker.ai, where you come in, you ask any question about public speaking communication, and my face comes up and my avatar says to you in whatever language is your first language, "Hi, Cesar. The answer to your question is," and I answer your question. That's being part of it. The next thing, someone saying, "I'm trying to get better for this presentation. Here's my video." And I analyze the video in detail, mentioning them by name, giving them, frankly, more nuance and detail than I can give on our weekly show for Udemy students. Go into depth, telling them, now for your next one, try this. If someone comes in and their first language is Estonian, and they're talking and they want to have a video of their speech critiqued, I would then talk to them by name in Estonian, telling them, you did this well, here's what you need to improve. And also someone saying, hey, I just want to get better at speaking. Can you give me a personalized path? Rather than having to watch my videos in a linear 30-hour section, we just really start the way I do in a private training, which is I talk to them for a few minutes, have them speak, we critique it, we do it again. And I'm never really talking for more than a minute or two at a time. And it's back and forth critique, really creating an experience in a digital environment that's like a one-on-one training, but in any language, any place where I'm mentioning them by. So that's my goal. Now, I certainly know that AI is to the point where that can happen. What I don't know is, do I need to go out and raise $100 million to do that, or do I need to find a partner, or is it relatively simple enough for me to do it right now on my own? Any thoughts on that?
Yes. The technology advances every day. So what you might want to do might not be available to the degree of quality that you want today, but tomorrow it will be.
Yeah.
So the best time to get into it is today.
Yeah.
Very briefly, and if I'm taking too much of your time, please let me know.
No, go ahead. Glad you're here.
Very briefly, I can tell you in my limited knowledge and where this is at regarding creating an avatar very much like you. In fact, I was very, very impressed. Some of my friends cannot tell the difference. The voice is not quite there yet. However, it has a voice that very similar to yours. Sometimes it could be with more bass, sometimes with more treble, but it's your voice. People can say, that's his voice. He just sounds a little different. But that's okay. We always sound a little different.
And are you talking about the one you created for yourself?
Yes.
That it sounded almost the same.
Yeah.
Okay,
now,
great.
once that you create the avatar, you can go ahead and tell it what to say in a written format. So you tell them to say, hello, I'm Cesar Castro. Today, I'm going to tell you about how to grow tomatoes. Mm-hmm. It will do that marvelously. I mean, you'll be impressed. Now, the avatar right now with the current technology only goes from waist up. And any gestures that you make when you create the avatar, creating the avatar is very simple. Basically, you record a video with good lighting, good sound, and you create a video just like you create your own videos. However,
well, a question about that, and I'm still in the rudimentary stages of learning this, but I'm under the impression that the best AI, you make it better and better by the more data you put into it. The data I have is thousands and thousands and thousands of videos of me speaking about communication skills. So rather than me standing in front of a green screen and just doing something for a minute or two, my understanding was I could just feed in my entire catalog.
Yes.
So we could essentially program the avatar to think exactly as I do
Oh yeah.
and to move as I do.
Yes. Yes. All that is possible. Right now, the limit is 2 minutes. So you can make videos of 2 minute length,
Mm-hmm.
which is a lot if you think about it, because most of my bites and your bites are a minute, 2 minute long. We just divided it into many. So all that is possible. There are some limitations, but you can live with, for example, if you're making your avatar, you cannot make gestures above your shoulders
Mm-hmm.
or cover your face.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to send you mine later on so you can see it. I made it a little dramatic, just to emphasize AI. But a lot of stuff is possible with AI, especially with the avatars. Now, it can speak any language you want,
Mm-hmm.
limited
That
to what
that
is
is the
available.
exciting thing, and certainly, I mean, you're a marketer. Ideally, everyone in the world somewhere might like salsa. If they could hear you talk about it in their language, might make them more comfortable making the first purchase. So I can.
Oh,
We were
yeah, yeah,
talking.
yeah, especially making little videos.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking in the earlier segment, the 9 a.m. segment today, about what's going on in India, where you've got the prime minister making videos using an artificial intelligence avatar, where it's sent. My understanding is email, perhaps it's on Facebook. So if you opened up your email, you went to Facebook page and you lived in India, you would see the prime minister saying, "Hi, Cesar, let me tell you
Hmm.
what I want to do for you." And your so you would hear the person by name
Absolutely.
talking to you in your language. And in a place like India, we're talking about dozens and dozens and dozens
Yes,
of
yes,
languages. It's not like the United States where if you can communicate in English and Spanish, I mean, you're going to hit a very high percentage of the population. In India, I mean, you've really got to hit dozens and dozens of
yes,
languages.
yes,
So that's from a communication standpoint is extraordinarily exciting.
yes.
Don't yet know if it's going to be perceived as unethical. Certainly, there are some people who say it's deceitful. Others say, "Hey, every politician's done that for 100 years. With they have a ghostwriter writing something and they put their name on it. It's not them
Yeah,
actually writing it.
yes,
Is this different? A case can
yeah,
be made that it is, but
yeah.
a case can also be made that hey." If you can capture someone's attention to talk to them about
Hmm.
policies that affect them and connect with them, that's a net positive.
Yes. And what I do is there's a clear distinction between my avatar and me by the way I dress. And I'm introducing the avatar to my viewers and customers, um, so they know that when the avatar speaks, is the avatar speaking, and that way makes it interesting. And also, the avatar can say, "Hello, I'm Cesar I. Today, Cesar is not here, but I am, and
Uh-huh.
look what I'm going to tell you." That's how I approach it. So I don't impersonate myself with it. There's a clear distinction between the two of us. And I
Mhm.
think you can do the same with your avatar.
That's an interesting approach. I mean, if you're very upfront, not fooling anyone,
Correct.
then I think there's less of an ethical issue, or you hold yourself out for less criticism if you let people know right away versus teeny tiny fine print on the bottom of your page or not
Yeah.
mentioning it at
Yeah.
all.
And also people understands that, okay, so that's why it quite doesn't move like him. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And also makes it interesting to watch because they want to know what the avatar will gesture because it's very unique. When I send you my links, you're gonna go, wow, you know?
Yeah, well, let's take a look at it. If you have it, we'd love to see it right here. I mean, we were earlier today playing the Prime Minister of India, and I'll just show that again. And we do have Madhav who's joined us, who lives in India. And if Madhav, I know I invited you last time, but if you do care to come on camera and talk at all about if you've seen any of these avatars, there's these AI avatars from India politicians and what your experience is, we'd love to hear from you. And so if you want to share that experience, please do so. I'm going to just share a minute. It's only, well, a minute. It's only 5 seconds.
Yeah. I don't
But
know
it's
if I
just,
can share my screen with you, TJ, so I can show you one of my
yeah,
things.
I'd rather see yours. Go ahead and share yours.
But I don't know how to do that.
Ah, well, what are
I
you
don't have
doing?
I don't have an icon to do that here. I just have my cam chat. Let me see more.
Hit
No,
more.
no, I don't have that.
So my understanding was that if someone was connecting through StreamYard, which you are,
Yeah.
it would let you do that. So how about this? If you have a link to it, if it's on a URL, if you post that in the private chat, I can then share it with people. And to our friends who are joining us on StreamYard, if you want to see what we're talking about, be a part of the conversation, I need you to, excuse me, our friends on TikTok, come on over to YouTube and you can see, because then you'll get the advantage of our 3-camera studio. You'll hear and see our guest Cesar. So we're just not set up yet integrating our TikTok feed with our live feed. So please come on over. And I will come to your comments. I see Carla said, do you work in a bank? I'll tell you why I'm wearing a suit and a pinstripe later, but I can't do it right now. But no question is off limits. I might not answer each one, or I may say that's silly, but I don't mind. I don't mind answering that. So, Cesar, let me give you a chance to find your link, post it. Meanwhile, I just want to show everyone what we're talking about with this AI tool being used currently in the Indian elections.
Sure.
I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. Okay, there we are. And let me.
ओमकार जी, नमस्कार शारिक जी, नमस्कार मानस जी, नमस्कार ओमकार जी.
Okay, so it's just a brief snippet, but what that's doing
नमस्कार शारिक जी.
is they can get him to say anyone's name, and then he can go into general messaging. Or presumably they can do enough data on voter profiles to figure out, okay, here's a particular person of a particular age, ethnicity, language, community. So we're going to tailor a message just to this person and tailor it to the language, tailor it by name. Now, the really dangerous thing, I guess, potentially, and the ethical dilemma is a politician could, I think they would probably get a backlash, but in theory, they could tell every single voter exactly what they want to hear, and all of the messages be completely contradictory. I think that would be pretty dangerous for politicians to do, because that would get out. More mainstream media would talk about it. There in theory, there would be a crisis for the campaign of hypocrisy and nonsense. But a lot of our assumptions about politics in the modern world, certainly in the last 8 years, have all been turned upside down. So you don't know, especially, I think, something like that is more susceptible at a smaller local race where there is no mainstream attention. So in theory, if I'm running for city council, I could create a profile of every single candidate, send them a personalized message, video, telling them exactly what they want to hear. So if I could see someone as a member of the NRA, I could say, my number one issue is fighting gun control. I could see if someone else is a member of a gun control group, I could say, my number one issue is banning guns in our community. I could say whatever I wanted. Now, there is, in almost every culture, the stereotype that politicians say one thing out, different things out of the different sides of their mouth all the time and are wishy-washy. I don't know that that's really true. Certainly some politicians waffle and change their positions, but for the most part, they are staking out positions that they think helps them most within their party and in their political context. If you really could completely get away with saying whatever you want to any politician or to any voter, no one knowing, it increases the temptation to do that. So I would certainly predict that we're going to see that, maybe not at a major national campaign in a big democracy, but in lower level races, as this technology becomes more apparent, accessible, inexpensive, I certainly think you could see that in minor legislative races, city commission races, where the politician just says to the campaign communications team and say whatever you got to have coming out of my mouth. I don't care. I just want to be in power. Not advocating that, mind you, not saying that's ethical behavior, but I certainly could imagine that happening. Any thoughts? And did we figure out a way for you to share your avatar?
I have right now. I have them. I just posted this morning to my Facebook page, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the camera off, go and grab my telephone, and get the link to my Facebook page and post it, and that way people can see the videos that I posted this morning. I posted a post, a story, and also a reel, and each
Okay.
of them is a little bit different. So
Great.
so let me do that. Let me go ahead and do that to see if I can do it. Otherwise, I will go ahead and send you the link later.
Great. All right, Cesar, looking forward to that. And let
Yeah.
us know when you come back.
Sure.
We'll see you. Great. Thanks. Okay. Hi, this is the TJ Walker Success Show. Thanks for joining me. I'm TJ. This is a channel devoted exclusively to helping you become more successful in your professional life and your personal life by enhancing your communication skills, building your communication skills, and helping you become more confident in your communication skills. That is all we're about right here. So very happy to have you. It's great to be back. I was on the road. This is our first live day back since last Friday. I had to go to Washington, D.C., coincidentally working with some artificial intelligence companies doing media training and presentation skills training for them, and traveling yesterday. So first day back, glad to be here. And so much going on in the world that directly relates to communication skills. If you have questions, post them in the comments. If you want to come online and talk to me and talk to the community, you can do it right here. All you have to do is join us on StreamYard. It's easy to do. The link is right there in the comments. If you're on TikTok, I can't have you join us directly from TikTok. I would need you to come over to my YouTube channel, see the link, and come in through StreamYard there. But I do want to recognize so many great folks who've popped in to say hello on TikTok. And if you want to get sort of the full experience of this show and see the whole studio and the different camera angles and our guest, I would need you to come over to our YouTube channel. But let's just check in with some of the folks. I see Gerardo has stopped by, Shepard, NEP, Lynn has joined us. Such an active and dynamic community here on TikTok. So it's a lot of fun to be with you. And we're going to come back to our initial topic, which is Travis Kelce and his new career as a talk show host and the things he's done. Jaja has a particular message about religion. And you know what? There's tons and tons of great channels that want to talk about religion, for it, against it. This isn't one of them. That's a little bit off message for us. We tend to avoid direct politics, political issues, and philosophies and religion. Instead, we do talk about specific communication skills. If it happens to be with someone talking about religion or politics, we do talk about that, but we don't get into big political debates or religious debates. John Emanuel says, you should keep, I don't know if we got cut off there, but I don't know what you mentioned, what you were referring to there. Oh, so many people. Jacob has joined us, and Coop, Stray. Stray says the topic is vague. So Stray, thank you for coming in. Our topic here and every day is how you can become a better communicator, how you can become more successful in communication. and more confident in your communication. We started off today talking about Travis Kelce, who is accomplished on the football field. He's an American football player. He now has taken that and his notoriety from that and become a famous worldwide brand. He has commercial deals. He has a wildly successful podcast. And just this week, it was announced that he has been named the host of a very famous, at least in the United States, talk show called Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity? So we're talking about how someone like this has leveraged success in one field and taken it to another field. And I always find it fascinating to talk about athletes because the smartest athletes, the most successful athletes in terms of overall lifetime earnings, actually make the vast majority of their income by speaking, by communicating. You look at someone like Tiger Woods. Yeah, he's maybe made $100 million in earnings from tournaments, but he's made $1 billion from endorsement deals where he speaks on behalf of Buick, or he appears as in an image for an ad for commercials. So that's why I think if you're an athlete and you're really thinking long term, you should spend, I'm not necessarily saying 8 hours in the gym and 8 hours in front of a TV camera, but you need to spend some time every day learning how to be a more effective communicator. And what Travis Kelce has done consistently is communicate. He's always been someone accessible to the news media. He's looked for opportunities to speak. He got into podcasting early. He has a wildly successful podcast with his brother. And this has constantly positioned him for more opportunities, more commercial deals, more TV talk shows. Stray says, coaching zombies. If you want to elaborate on that, I'm happy to hear. Stray says artificial. So, Stray, I'm picking up some criticism here, which is absolutely okay. But if you could give me a little more detail, I'm happy to address them. And if you want to come on, I'll give you equal time. You can come on screen, but I need you to come over to YouTube, or you can join us through StreamYard. Giancarlo says, hi from Guatemala. Giancarlo, so good to have you today. Thanks so much. If you want to join me on screen, more than happy to have you. We've got a lot of friends from all over the world today, every continent basically, and many, many comments and more questions and comments coming in today from a lot of our friends on TikTok. But we're happy to hear from everyone on every single platform. We do typically broadcast, simulcast, stream on 8 different platforms. Paycheck Blake says, my president. Okay. I don't know if you're referring to the fact that I'm an old white man with thin hair and therefore look like Joe Biden, but I don't mind that at all. I know it's all in good fun. So we see Baby has joined us, Essence, George. George says, wrong again, Holmes. Okay, George, let me state categorically, I am wrong from time to time. I don't know anyone who isn't. If I'm wrong and you point it out, I'm going to thank you because I want to give correct information to people. Now, sometimes there can be matters of opinion and philosophy where things are not clear-cut, right and wrong. But I'm sure I make a mistake every time I broadcast live. That's a risk anytime you speak. So I would love to know in more detail what you think is wrong. And again, I would offer you the opportunity. If you want to come on screen and talk to us, give your perspective, fact check me in real time, I'm happy to do it. That's not something you see typically major news networks do. They don't let their viewers challenge them and correct them in real time. We're different here. I do let you do that. So if you want to, please feel free to do so. Cesar was going to go off and show us his particular avatar. We were talking about artificial intelligence for communication. So Cesar, just let us know when you're back and we'll bring you back in. Stray says, it's pathetic to worry about perceived perception and tone over message. Okay. So let's talk about this a little bit. And what I'm going to do is record this so this can be used for a short form video later and perhaps a long form. You might be thinking it's pathetic to worry more about your style, how people perceive you, the perception versus your message. The message is really what's most important, right? Well, yes, ultimately, your message is important. But remember, in every form of communication, it's never a simple choice of style versus substance. Let me ask you this. If you desperately need a new assistant for you, for your company, and it's a job you've got to fill right now, and I've got all the qualifications you need. You look at my resume, it's great, but my cover letter is filled with typos, misspellings, things that look junky. The paper's dirty, I sent it to you on. Are you going to hire me, even though my resume is okay? Chances are you think, wow, TJ is so unprofessional. He can't even write a simple letter. That my style would overwhelm my impression and you wouldn't hire me. On the other hand, imagine I write a beautiful cover letter, beautiful sentences, punctuation's perfect, spelling is perfect, everything is great. But then you look at my resume, I have absolutely zero work experience. I've never worked a day in my life. And I'm 35 years old, let's say. Chances are you're not going to hire me either. My point is, it's never just about substance. It's never just about style. If you really want to communicate, it has to be consistent. It has to work together. Imagine if you went to your first day of college and you're attending a physics class, but it's a hot day out, and your teacher's wearing a tiny little bathing suit, and he's, let's just say, less than flattering to look at. I think you'd probably leave the classroom. So it is a myth that you can only focus on message and substance, and it's superficial to worry about style. Now, some people go too far. They spend so much time on style and trying to pick out their suit and this and that. They've got no message. That's not good either. You have to have a strong message and an image that at least doesn't confuse people, that it's consistent with your message if you want to be a strong communicator. So I'm going to hit stop on my record. We're recording some of those elements on 4K for higher quality. So Stray, I hope that answered your question, because I do feel strongly that it's a false dichotomy to focus on style versus sub. You have to have both. And Stray says, pamper of audiences. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Maybe you mean pandering? Stray says, must dig deeper. Who is genuine anymore? So I do think there are genuine people, but you can always say, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. You can say in a sense, I'm not genuine because I live in South Florida. It's hot. I showed up today wearing t-shirt and shorts. If I were completely genuine, I'd be here in a t-shirt and shorts, but I don't do that because I've gotten feedback from a lot of you that you don't take me seriously if I do that. So that's why I'm taking the time to put on a suit and tie, because it just seems more businesslike. Does that make me horribly inauthentic? I'll let you be the judge of that. Our friend Caesar is with us, and Cesar, excuse me for botching your name. The accent is on the second syllable, correct? Cesar?
Yes.
And I have to correct myself. You know, talk about not being genuine. I'm the biggest hypocrite in the world in that I occasionally mispronounce other people's names, and yet I have a daughter. Because of the name I gave her, everybody always mispronounces it. And I'm the first person to sort of, I don't usually say anything, but I'm the first person to be, can't they get my daughter's name right? My daughter's name is Rossa, Rossa, but that's not a name most people have ever heard of. So what happens to them is what happens to me and every other situation with names is you convert it to what you're familiar with. People are familiar with Rosa. So people are constantly calling her Rosa, as I'm sure people are constantly calling you Caesar. So
That's okay.
I do sympathize. Okay, let me share the screen.
I sent you the link, by the way.
Yes, that's what I'm
I hope that it plays. Okay.
We're going to see in 1 minute. And let me share the screen. And we don't have any copyrighted music in it, I'm assuming.
No, everything I have, I own.
Okay. That shouldn't cause a problem then. All right, let's go. I'm going to go ahead and pull this full screen, and we'll just take a look at it. And when I stop up, you want to explain anything, you just let me know, and I will stop it. Let me go ahead and make this full screen. Is the audio coming through, Cesar? Were you able to hear
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yes.
Let's explore an exhilarating frontier, artificial intelligence. While AI may seem daunting, remember that technology's impact is not on its creation, but on our use. Technology has propelled us forward throughout history, revolutionizing our lives and work. AI promises to revolutionize our world, enhance our capabilities, and solve problems with unprecedented efficiency. For instance, it could help us develop new medical treatments, improve transportation systems, and even...
All right, let's get some commentary in here. Cesar, tell us what you're doing here. Tell us what we're watching.
Okay. Basically, you're watching a video created entirely using AI technology.
Mm-hmm.
The person that you see is a digital person, is my AI avatar.
Mm-hmm.
And I was created, and also what the avatar is speaking, it was text that I input into it. So I can literally make it say anything I want
Mm-hmm.
in the language that are available. The images that you see are also created with AI as well. The music, although the music was already created by someone else.
Mm-hmm. Well, fascinating. I mean, it definitely looks like you. It seemed fairly conversational to my ear. And our friends on TikTok, if you want to see what we're talking about, come on over to the YouTube channel. It's TJ Walker Success on YouTube, and you can see this AI creation. I liked it. The only thing that struck me as not completely lifelike, there was something about the hands that evoked to me the magician. Oh, what's his name? And David Copperfield. It just seemed a little bit like, and I'm now going to saw this woman in half. There was something.
Yes. When I created the avatar, I have two avatars. This one is the one that I use as AI. I'm going to use it on most videos, so there's a clear distinction. So when I created the avatar, I slow my gestures from my normal gesturing, so I can make the avatar with its own personality, a little bit different, so there's a clear distinction. Also, I exaggerated, or not exaggerated, but I put lighting, additional lighting to my face. And of course, I'm wearing a gaudy sport coat that I only wear very rarely. So it's a clear distinction between the Cesar AI and myself. That's why I made it that way. Now, when you have a chance, go ahead and see the entire video, because the ending is where I reveal the avatar.
Well, let's look at it right now. So, I mean, one of the beauties of being here live 9 to noon is we actually have time.
Also, TJ,
we have time for others.
Excuse me. I want to make this note that there might be latency on the video because it's been broadcast, and sometimes there's latency, so it might not be as real time as it was when I recorded it.
Well, I mean, it looked pretty clear to me, but let's just take a look. It's only 1 minute and 14 seconds left, so it's not long. Let's take a look.
Even predict natural disasters, sparking a new era of hope and optimism. It's about making our lives simpler and expanding our horizons. Let's embrace AI with optimism and responsibility, understanding that its use should always be guided by ethical considerations and robust regulations. It's not just about embracing AI, it's about each of us taking collective responsibility to steer our future toward unprecedented growth, empowering us all to make a significant difference. Join me in shaping a future where technology amplifies our potential. Let's harness AI's power for good, forging paths that benefit not just a select few, but uplift everyone who is left behind. Are you ready to step into this future? Let's make it happen together. My name is Cesar Cesar's Castro, AI Digital Image. It's been great meeting you.
All right. So a lot of nice stuff there, Cesar. Walk us through a little more. Oops. Let me click this down. Okay. So tell us a little more about why you did it and what you got out of it and what your message is to people there.
Yes. I did it basically in the pursuit of learning how AI works. And I was not able to find an easy way to do it. So I spent time trying to research it and using different programs. So I did it for my own, let's say, for my own satisfaction and pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do, in addition to the salsa, which is the business, that's the videos that I make to promote it, etc. I also make videos about positive attitude, how to stay positive, how to embrace health and everything. So I wanted to make the avatar. So in case that I cannot speak, my hand experience told me that anything can happen anytime.
Yeah.
So now I can have an avatar that can make videos for me. And also, I wanted to show my friends, my viewers, everybody in my circle, what AI is in regards to visual arts and how you can embrace it. And of course, it's steering a lot of questions. And I answer the questions that come around. And there's some positive feedback and there's negative feedback. But again, here, this very short script explains that any technology that we have is not good or bad. It's how we use that technology and what our intent of using the technology is.
Mm-hmm.
So we can use it for good or we can do it for bad. And what I'm getting out of it is that I have a digital assistant that can help me. And it's been a lot of fun. And I'm always practicing with it, making the scripts and see how it'll react. Because sometimes it reacts different.
Yeah. Great. Well, thanks so much for sharing. So, it's always a delight to hear from you and see your innovation and creativity. We've got to move to our next segment, which is we're going to be going live on Amazon in just a few minutes, talking about a number of products, because we're always looking for new ways of helping people communicate more effectively, which is why we're so happy, Cesar, to see your experiments with artificial intelligence and avatars and video, AI, audio, and video. That's something we're going to be exploring a great deal here in coming weeks and months and years. So thanks so much, and hope to see you. I'm gonna leave you in the room, but taking you off the screen for a moment.
Sure, I might leave, TJ. I have to go and walk. So
great.
Nice
Thanks so
seeing
much,
you,
Cesar.
everyone.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, go ahead and contact me through Facebook.
Yes, a great idea. Thanks, Cesar.
Thank you much.
Thanks. My colleague Ben is with us. We're going to be going live on Amazon in just a moment, doing Amazon influencer videos, talking about actual products where people with one click can then buy it on Amazon. I did want to address a few more comments that have come in from our friends joining us today on TikTok. Stray says, are we all dressed up monkeys to impress at all cost? I hope not. I hope that that's not our only purpose. And Carlos wants to know if I work in a bank. So I mentioned I would talk about that. You're looking great. My banker looks like you. You're looking very professional. So the reason I'm dressed in this, for many years, I would just have casual sort of blue shirt, unbuttoned, no, not unbuttoned, but just the top one, no tie. And what I found was that people on YouTube and other social media just seemed to respond to videos I did, watched them a lot more, shared them more comments when I wore a suit and tie. And whether that's because I'm of a certain age, I'm over 60, I do have a lot of corporate clients. I do talk about how to present in a lot of business situations. It just seemed to make more people comfortable. So that's why I'm doing it. And that way they don't have to be confused. Like, why is this guy casually dressed, but he's talking about a business presentation? So, but thanks for the kind comments, Carlos. I do appreciate it. And I would just, Glue wants to know, are those your real teeth? They are. I have a combination of veneers, caps. Some people like them. Some people hate them, but they are the worst teeth they've ever seen. I'm not going to worry about it, but I don't mind you asking. And other comments have come in primarily about communication is our main focus. Sushi says, do you believe introverts can become extroverts to polish their communication? So let's step back a minute. If the goal is being a good communicator, I think it's a false assumption to assume you need to change your personality. I think people of any personality can be great communicators. Steve Jobs was not known as someone who had to be the life of every party, walking around backslapping and loving every man he ever met. No, he was known as somewhat introverted. He became a great communicator because he focused on what he was passionate about, and he shared that passion with the world. So I do think it is possible, and you can become almost any type of personality you want, because I do think you have a lot of influence on your personality. In fact, one of the books I'm going to be talking about during our Amazon influencer section is by this author, Dr. Benjamin Hart. He has an entire book on how you can change your personality and you can become the personality you want. Now, coincidentally that you asked that, that's not the book about that, but you can look up his name if you want. But again, the more important issue is I don't want you to try to change your personality if you want to be a better communicator. You can be a better communicator. You can be a great communicator and be an introvert, an extrovert. You can be a horrible communicator and be an extrovert. I've seen plenty of people who are the life of the party. You ask them to stand up and speak in front of 20 people, and all of a sudden, blah, 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 they're tongue-tied, they're nervous, they're scared, they're sweating. So there's almost no relationship between introversion, extroversion, and how well you can communicate. We've got to sign off now with our folks on TikTok because I've got to use this phone to make Amazon influencer video. So if you want to see what we're doing, then go ahead, come on over to the YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, type in TJ Walker Success. You'll see the channel. If you type in TJ Walker, you'll see the channel. It may be the second or third channel that pops up, but it's pretty easy to find. So thanks so much. We're going to sign off now with our friends from TikTok. And let me just end the feed. And we're going to get ready in a minute to do our Amazon Live. Let me bring in my colleague, Ben, who is our executive producer and handles so many of the things that we do here technically. And Ben, I've given you in advance the videos or the products we're going to be talking about today on Amazon.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and prepare my camera and test my speaker to make sure I'm recording properly, because we have had a problem a few times lately And what do you know? I left my microphone and the charger. I have to walk to the back of the studio. I don't like leaving you hanging here, but Ben, it's your show now. Say something interesting and provocative for people and give them some fun. And
Okay, TJ. Yeah, actually, it's been a good time to be here now.
okay.
Definitely. Okay, TJ is back.
All right. So I hit it. I see a green light on, which is a good sign for the microphone. I'm going to do a quick test because it has gotten us into trouble lately. Where I've recorded a bunch of videos and something happened and we had to do them all over again, which is in fact what happened last Friday, the last time we were all together. Testing the audio. I do that. Together. Testing the audio. Okay. I had a scare. I hit play. I heard nothing because I didn't have the volume on. So that's great. So I'm going to delete that one. I don't want to accidentally put that one up. Here today's books. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on the tripod. And I'm using just a simple, I guess they call it a gooseneck tripod. Same one I was using today for our live session with TikTok. So I'm going to get my products all ready. Lately, I've been doing books in part because I've kind of gone through the easy things in my household that are easy to move around. And again, for those of you new, let me just tell you again what I'm doing. Everyone's heard about influencer and Kim Kardashian and Martha Stewart and all these influencers, and yet it seems kind of remote. How does anyone who's not already world famous do something like that? Well, there are now a number of programs, people like Amazon, that make it relatively. I'm going to turn this light off. For some reason, it shows up in a weird way when I'm doing it with my cell phone. Also, I've noticed that I've timed out on my accent lights. So I'm actually going to turn my accent lights on again. Yeah, we're a simple, lean production here. If you look at a typical TV show, there's going to be so often dozens of staffers, directors, producers, gaffers, stage assistants, makeup person, all sorts of technical crew. And right now, I'm it right here in this studio. Now, Ben helps me. We have editors around the world. But as far as our production, it's all just me right here. So sometimes I'll show you exactly what I'm doing with the hopes that you can say, well, TJ can do it. I can do. I'm going to turn on my remote for when we do that sequence. It'll be ready. Okay. So, Ben, let's hop in. We're now going to do a simulcast and join and go on live on Amazon. If you want to watch this on Amazon, Ben, if you can post our Amazon store, it's simply amazon.com/shop/TJ Walker Success. If you're like me, that's too long to remember. So we'll post that in the comments section. It's also built into my description, the About You section on my YouTube channel. So you can see it there as well. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of things here. We're going to go live. You can buy the book if you want to. It's really more of a demonstration. Hoping to motivate you to go live, to sell products, to make money from your ability to communicate. And then after I do the live section, I'm going to make short form video ads that will go on to Amazon.com on various product pages and in my own storefront. So let's hop right in. And Ben, I'll take you off camera, but if you can then give me a countdown and actually say it out loud. So pause a second at the end one, then I'll know exactly when to start.
Okay. All right, we're ready now. 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome. I'm TJ Walker. This is Amazon Live. I'm so happy to share with you products that have meant a lot to me, that have helped me personally. I'm reviewing products for you that I bought with my own money. In today's case, they're all books. I've read these books. They've meant something to me. They've helped my life. These are typically books I've recommended to other people, authors I've recommended. And now I want to share them with you as well. If you see anything you like here, you can simply click below in the carousel to learn more about the product. You can also go ahead and buy the product with one click there as well. The first book is 10 Times is Easier Than 2 Times. This is by an author I've mentioned before, Dr. Benjamin Hardy. He is, by some measures, the most successful and really highest energy personal development guru in the world today under 40. It seems like he writes another best-selling book about every 5 minutes. And someone I had not heard of 20 years ago, 10 years ago, even 8 years ago. He rose to fame through his writing on the Medium platform and became a wildly successful blogger, transferred that audience to his books now. He has a wildly successful YouTube channel as well. I've read pretty much all of his books. Now, he does often partner with his own coach, Dan Sullivan, who's quite famous in the coaching world for business executives. But the point he makes here is that so often when you want to make some big breakthrough and you want to build your income, do something more successful, we aim too low. If you're trying to just figure out how to be a little bit better, you're just tweaking things at the edges. If you try to do 10 times bigger, 10 times more, 10 times greater, it changes every single aspect of how you prepare, what your daily habits are. Now, he gives an example of someone he knows who wanted to become a professional tennis player. Everything you do, if your goal is to be a professional tennis player, is completely different than if you just want to be a little more competitive down at the local club playing tennis. And it doesn't necessarily take more time. It just changes your whole approach. So I have found this very, very meaningful, really all of his books. So if you're looking for a personal development expert and you want to go beyond the classics of the Dale Carnegies and a lot of the traditionalists that are in the canon, this guy is someone to be reckoned with. Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Again, the book is 10 Times is Easier Than 2 Times. So check it out. Would love to get your feedback on the book as well. So it's in the carousel right now. And hello to our friend Joshua, who's joining us today from Twitter. So thanks so much for joining us, Joshua. Really happy you're here. And Joshua, if you stay with us, I know you'd reached out earlier about another matter. We're gonna continue our live segment on Amazon. We'll disconnect and then we'll come to you. Okay. The next book available for sale on Amazon. It's right there in the carousel. 30 Lessons for Living, tried and true advice from the wisest Americans. Now, this is a little bit different from a lot of books that I recommend because it is more, it's pulling together advice from a lot of people rather than just one voice. But it has advice on marriage, starting a business, how to be successful, parenting. It really gives a wide range of advice. I judge a book quite often by how many pages I turn down. Now, I don't do this with library books, only books I own. But when I see a nugget that I think is particularly useful, I turn down the page, I underline the segment, and then I go back and read it later and reflect on it. And there are just numerous pages here that jumped out. I mean, I'm just turning to one randomly. The advice from experts is clear. If there's another career you wish you could pursue, but you're worried that it will bring a drop in income, do it anyway. Now, you've heard that before from others, but I just find that this book takes a lot of tried and true wisdom, but does it in a way that makes it fresh. So if you're looking for a lot of advice that's not just from one voice. I would recommend 30 Lessons for Living. It's available in the carousel below. The next book I want to bring to your attention, Brain Hacks. This is by Laura Hanos Webb, who is not an author I've read before. It's life coaching strategies to improve executive functioning. So it helps you work smarter, stay focused, and achieve your goals. Now, these are themes that you will find in Stephen Covey's Highly Effective Habits, a lot of other books, but I just found some unique twists. Again, I look at it. How many pages did I mark down? Is there a new way of doing it? I just randomly turned to one page. Tip: plan a nature break into your day. This is different than stand up and walk every so often. Play a sport you like. Stand up and do jumping jacks. Do the Pomodoro technique and take 20 minutes where you walk around the office. All good advice, but actually stressing the effectiveness and the need to be out in nature, I think, is incredibly important. It's something I take to task every single day. I try to go for a walk without a cell phone. When I'm here in Florida, my home base, I typically try to walk on the beach every day. And my first 3 years in Florida, I would say I averaged 29 out of 30 days a month when I was in town walking on the beach. Just yesterday, I spent a glorious probably 2.5 hours walking by the White House, the Washington Monument, the United States Congress, all the Smithsonian, because I happen to be in Washington, D.C. Rather than saying, oh, let me catch the first plane out of Washington at 6 a.m. and get to the office as quickly as possible, I actually planned and structured my schedule to give myself being outside in nature with all the big mall, all the grass and beautiful trees there. A little too late to see the cherry blossoms in Washington, but still very beautiful in the springtime. So again, take a look. It's in the carousel below. Brain Hacks. Laura Hanos Webb is the author. The next book, The Science of Positivity. This is by an author, Loretto Graziano Bruning. I mentioned her, I believe, in one other book recently, but I had not ever heard of her till a couple of years ago. And she really struck me as quite profound in the scientific explanations she had about how the brain works, how we can take control over our body, recognizing that we are animals, but doing it in a way that is very helpful to us control our own destiny. So it's a very different book. It's called Stop Negative Thought Patterns by Changing Your Brain Chemistry, The Science of Positivity. I would check this book out if you're at all fascinated by personal development, as I am, and you're looking for something that's outside the usual recommendations. This goes much deeper than simply, look at your goals every day, get a good night's sleep, eat proper, all good tips. This goes much, much, much deeper. So check it out. The final book I would like to recommend to you is called Unwired by Gaia Bernstein, Gaining Control Over Addicted Technologies. Now, this book came out, let me give you the exact date. This book was first published, obviously not that long ago. People haven't been talking about it, but I believe it came out in 2023. A lot's happened in the last year, and a lot to show how the problem of us all being so wired and connected all the time is worse than ever. One of the books I will be reviewing quite soon is by Jonathan Haidt on the nervous generation, where he talks about the skyrocketing rates of suicide, depression by young people who are growing up wired and connected at all times. So this book gives a lot of very practical tips on how to gain control over these addicted addictive technologies. Now, I may sound like a hypocrite because you're saying, well, TJ, you're on 8 social media platforms now. You're on live 8 hours a day. Yeah, but I'm trying to help people and I'm creating. I'm not sitting back watching entertainment nonstop. There is a difference. And when I'm off, I am off. And when evenings, I'm reading an actual book. If I'm off playing pickleball, I'm not checking my cell phone and taking calls in the middle of the game. If I'm doing a nature walk, I try to leave my phone at home, not simply turning the ringer off. So I think in this modern age, all of us need to be vigilant and really actively looking for ways to spend less time connected and allowing ourselves to be interrupted by this notification, this ping, this text, this email. It's destroying brains and it's reducing happiness. It's increasing depression. I don't think there's much legitimate debate on that issue anymore. So this book is a part of my arsenal on how to gain control over my own life, my own brain, and not let all the people we're using right now, all of our good friends at Facebook and Twitter and everyone else, have total domination of our brain. So if you're interested in this, the book is in the carousel below. Take a look at it and check it out. Okay, those are the books and the products I wanted to share with you today on Amazon Live. And Ben, I just want to make sure, please alert me. Joshua is standing by. We'll be speaking to him shortly. If anyone else has posted a comment on Amazon, I'm not on Amazon right now, so you'll need to alert me. Fair enough, Ben? Okay, great. I see the nod. Okay, what I'm going to do now is kind of a show within a show within a show. Now I am going to make an ad about these very same products for the Amazon community. What we're doing right now, we're live, we're right here. Anyone can see it and interact with us, ask questions. And this video we're doing for Amazon Live now will stay on demand. It'll be available on demand as soon as we're finished, presumably forever, or until Amazon gets tired of me. But you can see all the old Amazon Lives on my page at my home page right there on Amazon where you are. What I'm going to do now is do a short form ad, just a 15-second ad for each one of these products. And then I'll be uploading it to my store on Amazon. And then typically, not guaranteed, but typically, Amazon then posts that video on the storefront. Now I'm just adjusting my camera here so we can have a steady look. And I will be just posting simple videos saying what I like about the product. So we'll do it in reverse order now, the same book. And I'm using a simple remote control so that I don't have to stop, hit the button. I'm going to pull my one backlight out. It seems a little too dominant in the angle that I'm using for the ads that I'm making for the Amazon on-demand videos. Okay, so we'll hop right into this. If you feel like you've already gotten enough information about the books and you're joining us on Amazon Live, you can sign off now. I won't be offended. But if you want just a very quick refresher, then stay because we'll be finishing up shortly. Anita has joined us as well. Anita, let me know if you have any questions about the books. And then we will be spending some more time with you and Joshua and others. Okay. Okay, my remote didn't work. Let me hit it again. All right. Unwired gives you lots and lots of practical tips on how to disconnect from all the social media, all the noise where everyone's trying to grab your attention and destroy your brain. Check it out. It'll help. So I'm doing just simple 15-second or less commercials. The Science of Positivity. This book goes much deeper than just have a good attitude, get a good night's sleep. It really tells you how your brain works and gives you tips, tricks, and tools to take control over your brain. Okay. Brain hacks. We all want control over our life. You can't do it unless you control executive function. That means controlling your own brain. This author's done an outstanding job of going deeper, giving you tips and tricks. "30 Lessons for Living" from some of the top minds out there. If you want advice from people on marriage, happiness, career, success, family, this book is for you. "10x is easier than 2x." Dan Sullivan is one of the top personal development writers and thinkers in the world today. He makes a compelling case. We're aiming too low. Aim higher, you'll get more. Okay, so that is the full complement of the ads we're doing, the products we're talking about for Amazon Live. I want to say, again, a special hello to our friends on Amazon. Thanks so much. It's great to be a part of the Amazon Influencer Program. And we look forward to coming back typically every day here. We do a brief segment. So we're going to sign off from Amazon right now, but everyone else stay here. Okay, so that concludes our Amazon Live segment. That's something we do here, typically 20, sometimes 30 minutes a day. And I'm doing it as an experiment. I'm not making some fortune on Amazon as an influencer, but I do make money every single day. And in the case of like this past week, I haven't been able to make any new ads because I was traveling, training in Washington, D.C. the weekend before that. So that's the first time I've done one since last Friday. But it is nice to wake up every day and see, okay, another 1,000 people watched a video, X number clicked, X number bought something, and a tiny percentage of that goes to me. So if you're at all interested in being an influencer, I do recommend that you check out various programs. I don't work for Amazon. There are influencer programs, Walmart, Target, TikTok. Every major store has one. A lot of brands have one. Social media platforms have one. What I like about Amazon is that they get you in front of eyeballs of people who are actually interested in buying. They put your video typically right on the product page, and that's why it is exciting. Okay, Joshua, the problem hitman, is an expert on marketing, I believe internet marketing, copywriting. And Joshua, if you want to hit, Ben, let's repost the link in case people missed it in the scroll. But Joshua, if you want to come up and click on the StreamYard link, you can come right on and talk to us today about your various aspects of communication expertise, because I know you are a communicator in your own right and help entrepreneurs, experts, people like me solve communication problems. And so Joshua, if you're still with us, also Anita, if you wanted to say hello, if you have any questions, feel free to pop in and say hello. Let us know what's on your mind. Otherwise, we are about 30 seconds away from when we typically end, which is at 12 noon Eastern time in the United States East Coast, where I am. I'm based in Florida. So I'll give a moment, Joshua, because I believe you and I had communicated through email, and I said, I'm happy to chat with you. Best time to chat with me about communication issues is right here in our live show. So there's nothing special about me. I'm like a lot of business people where you get emails every single day from people saying, I can help you market more effectively, communicate more effectively, get in front of people more effectively. And what I do quite often these days is say, okay, I'll talk to you. Come on my show and talk to me. And that way I can kill two birds with one stone. I can talk about communication and provide value to other people who may be interested in the same service, and not take extra time out of my day. Because if I said yes to every single person who wanted to do an hour Zoom call to pitch a product, I would never have any sleep. I would be working 24 hours a day. And as I'm sure you get the same number of offers, or you get a lot of offers these days. If you have any kind of business, you have a website. And look, I'm not knocking that. I think it's great that people want to reach out and talk about their products and services. But that's how I try to manage it myself. I ask people, hey, come talk to me. Guess what? Most people never take me up on it. Most people are either afraid, or I think it's mostly fear. Anita, how are you today?
Hey, hi, TJ. Can you hear me?
Yes. Tell us what's new and what you're working on.
Yes. So I am focusing on improving my communication skills and more so being more confident. So I landed in Udemy with your course, and I must say I'm so happy that I enrolled in your course.
Great. Well, I'm happy to hear that. Which course are you in, and what is the main opportunity you have to communicate? Is it in the business world now, in school? Where are you in your career?
Yeah, so I am in I have some experience in my career, about 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm trying to step up and trying to be more influential in meetings and putting my point together. And I'm also wanting to have my own YouTube channel to share the knowledge that I am having. So now I just feel that I need to up my game in communication.
Mm-hmm.
So I enrolled in your program, which says build your communication and confidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, glad to hear it. And I'm excited about your journey and what you're talking about. Here's one tip I will give you that I guarantee you will dramatically improve your communication skills. And it doesn't involve taking another course or giving me or anyone else money. The tip is just go ahead and start your YouTube channel today. It's not going to be perfect. You might not have perfect lighting, a perfect mic, a perfect camera. Just start. Give yourself a deadline, whether it's one video a week by every Thursday at 4 p.m., but give yourself a set deadline where you know you're going to be speaking, sharing your expertise, and hitting upload and publish. I guarantee you will be a more successful communicator within 6 months, probably less time.
Okay. So you are suggesting that I just get started?
Just do it. Yes.
Okay.
Don't wait any longer. I mean, I know countless people who, frankly, have better academic credentials than I do, maybe smarter, maybe better looking, but I bump into them, sometimes once every 10 years. They're still talking, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. Well, you said that 15 years ago, and you said it 10 years ago. You said it 5 years ago. Just start the thing. Get in the game. And it's virtually impossible not to build confidence as a communicator if you are making videos, speaking on a regular basis.
Got it. So, TJ, I wanted to ask that in your course, you have mentioned that, okay, you start recording daily, every day you record. And I think I've been recording myself for 15 days and I feel
Great.
I feel confidence. Yeah.
Right. You sound confident.
Thank you. It's all because of you. So, should I wait for, when I do daily recording, so I practice and then I'm practicing a content which I want to put on YouTube, right? So how long should I practice? Then I should put on the YouTube, or I know you said that, you just go ahead and
You've
post
done it for 15 days. Just
Mhm.
publish the one you did today. Let's just get started. As Jimmy Donaldson, Mr. Beast, always says, just start. He says, no one's going to see it anyway, because when you just start, you have no audience, but it gets you in the game. It gets you started. So my recommendation, take the last video you did today or yesterday, post it.
Post
Do a
it.
better one tomorrow. And if you don't do it daily, at least do once a week. That would be my recommendation.
Okay.
Anita, we have to go now. I really appreciate your
Mhm.
stopping by and your participation, your enthusiasm, and the positive vibes you're bringing here. So thanks for being a part of our community. I'm
Thank you.
TJ Walker. Thanks so much for joining us. Please look at the videos posted on this channel today. Every day we do 2 short form videos, 1 long form video. So please watch them. Please subscribe. Please leave comments. It's really helpful to the channel. It lets YouTube know, hey, we should show this to other people. This one's getting comments. And please send me suggestions on topics you would like me to cover in future videos. Thanks so much. I'll see you here live tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., Friday morning, Eastern Time. See you then.